It's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. The NFL is finally back. We're heading to the AFC South to talk Colts and Jags. The NFL is finally back, and we've got a nice little promo code for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. The code is NFL20. The Colts are favored on the road in this one, -8. The total is 45. We've got Dan from Picks and Parlays to talk this AFC South matchup. Dan, is there anything that jumps off the page when you see this Indianapolis and Jacksonville matchup?
Well, I think the first thing I look at just the fact that the season's going to be so strange for the first couple of weeks. Not knowing been no preseason. There's no fans in the stadiums, most of them, so you really don't know what to expect. But the thing that jumps out at me right off the bat is you just look at this Colts team and their strengths. They have a great offensive line. They should have a strong rushing attack, and they have a new quarterback with Phillip Rivers coming over from San Diego.
Just some numbers to throw out there for people if they just wanted to know. Colts have been 1-8-1 against the spread in Jacksonville in their last 10, which is kind of baffling because you'd assume that, nobody goes down to Jacksonville and struggles. But for some reason, against the number, the Colts have done just that. However, they do have a new quarterback in Phillip Rivers. And as you mentioned, that offensive line that the Colts had built around, hoping to keep Andrew Luck around, even though he's retired now. But now they've got Phillip Rivers behind that. And they also had the 7th best rush attack in the league last season. That is why I like an under in this one, because the Jaguars 31st in red zone scoring last season. Very towards the bottom in the league when it comes to actual scoring. Obviously, nobody's expecting the Jags to do well. I think 8 is, like you mentioned, no one knows what's going to happen in this. So I don't know if I like the Colts to cover that, especially given their past against the spread numbers. But this Jags team's so bad. I think Phillip Rivers is going to need some time to adjust to a new offense. He was in San Diego for a long time. This is the first time that he's had to learn a new offense and new players in a very long time. So I think it'll take some time for him to get going. And plus, they have a good rush attack, which means they might run the ball a lot if they're ahead. So when you run the ball a lot and you get the clock moving for you, I like an under in this one for that reason.
Yeah, that's very good reasoning there. For me personally, I go back to what you said about Jacksonville or the Colts being 1-8-1 in the last 10 against the Jaguars. I know this isn't the same Jaguars team as before. Their defense isn't as good. They got rid of their best D lineman in the last week or so. They've cut they cut their starting running back Leonard Fournette. But again, it's a Gardner Minshew II experiment. And he seemed to pull out some games last year. I don't expect Jacksonville to actually win this game, but as you're saying about Rivers, he needs some time to, with some reps for this offense. I just think first game of the season, not knowing what to expect, I think 8's a lot. More than a touchdown, I just got to take the points in this one.
And especially since Phillip Rivers is also known to throw interceptions on the goal line. I know a couple of games where I bet on Phillip Rivers, and he threw 3 or 4 picks in a single game, and that is incredibly frustrating. And it's a quick way to turn the score around. 1 minute you're driving, and then the next they're running it back for a touchdown. So that's also something to consider. Well, that's going to do it for our Colts Jags talk here on Picks and Parlays. Dan, thanks for joining us.